Hi, sorry, technical hitch. I dropped my phone. I can do art, but I'm not so good on technology. I've made myself wobbly. Is there anybody there? I do hope so. We're going to start doing the next art lesson in just a moment. So if you could put some thumbs up, some hearts, if you're there, that would be fantastic. Anybody there at the moment? Oh, I've got somebody looking. That's good. Can you put up something? Oh, Gillian's watching. That's really good. I've got a few more coming up now. Great. Let me see who's there. We won't start for a couple of minutes again, just till I get the audience up a little bit. I hope you're all enjoying all the sunshine. Carol, nice to see you again. Michael, hi. Oh, it's Emily. Sorry, Michael. And who else is there? Let me see. Can you send your names up and then I can read them while we're saying hello? I'm enjoying this beautiful sunshine today. I'm just going to open my window a bit more. Maybe you can tell me what you're looking at. At the moment, I'm looking at Truro Viaduct. How exciting is that? There you go. Emily. Oh, Claire, you're watching. Nice to see you, Claire. And we've got, oh, a German fan club coming in. That's good. Hello, Claire. It's nice to see you. And who else is there? Let's have a look. Oh, we've got more and more people coming in. Can you just flash your names up so I can see who's there? Oh, Claire's on a windy courtyard. Okay, that's exciting. Where are other people? Let me see. Tell me who you are. Who else is there? Oh, somebody else just popped up. We've gone up. Numbers are going. Pamela Gray. Where are you, Pamela? Hilary, nice to see you again. Hilary and I have spoken for many years and never met, and we've met this way, which is wonderful. Wendy, lovely to meet you. Oh, you're a friend of Hilary's. Lovely to meet you, Wendy. Who else is coming up? We've got some more. We're up to 16. Maybe share it quickly out with your friends and let them know, and then we'll start. Today was on the list. You need pencil, felt pens, crayons, paper, A4 printer paper, and some string and a pair of scissors and some sellotape. It was on a list that went up this morning. I've got a couple of hearts going up now. Anything else? Who else is there? Oh, we're up to 14 now. The numbers are going up quickly. Veronica, nice to meet you. Hi. Anybody who did artworks yesterday after the show, would you like to send them to me and I'll put some more up tonight? If you send them to me, I'm assuming you don't mind me posting them then because I'm not putting names by them. But it is nice to put up a gallery of what people have done. Who else is there? I've got some more thumbs coming in now. Any more names coming up? I'll just have a sip of my tea so I don't lose my voice. Okay, we'll give it another couple of minutes if you don't mind. So I'll just whiz through the bits that I've been saying at the beginning if there's anyone new out there. I do online full-on art lessons and the progress of learning in those is incredible. These ones are just for a bit of fun to keep you all entertained. This was a boy the other day, 13-year-old boy. He started off like that. He's based in London. And at the end of an hour and a half tuition through the internet, he did that. Oh, we've got Kevin from Falmouth. What can you see at the moment, Kevin? And it was teaching him how to break things down, build them up, how to get light, shade, shadow, reflection. So if anyone's interested in the full lessons from me, I'd love to teach you. As soon as I've got my head around Zoom, which I'm trying to do at the moment, I'm going to start doing group lessons online, which will be paid ones. These ones are obviously free. And also I do one-on-one tuition. I know this is coming up backwards, but I still can't work out how to turn it around without losing sight of you all. But this was the progress of a 10-year-old girl in 3 hours with my unique system, not copying. This one's 3 hours on perspective. Even architects have said they couldn't believe what they learned. 3 hours on paintbrush technique, at the end of which, after 5 lessons, 90-year-old stroke victim did that. 50-year-old German lady did that after 4 lessons, and this guy here was 40. He did that after just 3 lessons. My website is www.artatthebeach.co.uk. So that's quite easy to remember. www.artatthebeach.co.uk, and that will lead you into all my other guises because I also do team building and big events and things as well. So I think we might get started. Now, I've got a really, really sunny day here and it's beautiful. I've been looking out of the windows and I thought we'll do something a little bit fun and a little bit silly today because it's Sunday. So bear with me. I'll go back to teaching slightly more formally again maybe in the next few days. I'm assuming you're enjoying this. It would be nice to get feedback because if you are, I'll keep going. And also please keep telling your friends. I'm going to get you to do today both some butterflies and also some birds. So you don't have to worry. If you don't want a butterfly, you can bird. You could possibly even turn this into aeroplanes if you like. So the whole theory is going to work for any of those. So don't feel that you've got to stick with exactly what I'm saying. But that would be good if we start off all doing the same thing just for the beginning. Now, I asked you to bring some scissors and sellotape and string. And the whole idea of it is today, not only are you going to do a three-dimensional coloured in model, but we're going to have them flying. Now, I haven't had the chance to colour mine in, but this is my seagull, the bane of Cornish life, who will come after my pasty. And this one is my butterfly. Now, my butterfly looks like it's got a little bit of a weight problem going on here, so I think I maybe should have chopped this bit off here, but we can work on that as we go. So we're going to do this sort of thing. The string then is supporting it so it will fly. And you could either then hang them from the ceiling or light shades or something. Or if you wanted to get really technical later, you could get yourself a couple of chopsticks or something, tie them together in a cross like that, and then fit like a mobile your different little bits and bobs to it and have them flying around your ceiling. Of course, you could also just do some flat and stick them to your windows, so we will go through the whole process now, but that's what we're aiming at. Okay, so the first thing you will need is a piece of white, well, preferably white, doesn't have to be A4 paper, just the thin stuff is perfect for this. Right, what you're going to do first, and you could use your finger if you needed to help you. We're going this way, so we've got the length going down. This is called portrait, that's called landscape. We're going to go portrait way, and we're going to start rolling. Use a finger or your pencil if you want to start that roll. Some of you with little fingers might find it easier to put a pen or something there first, just to get it to start rolling up. And you want to make like a Swiss roll. And if we roll it all the way down, I've still got the pen in there just to make it easier for me. Roll it all the way down. Then obviously let your pen come out. And then tidy it up a bit. You can do that by banging the two ends so it goes straight. And if you want to tighten it up a bit, if you stick your finger down in the end there and just twist a bit, you can make the scroll a bit tighter. And just tidy it up so you've got a really nice long Swiss roll. It should look like that. You want it a little bit tighter than that. I'm doing by twisting my finger around. So we've got a tube basically we've made. It's like a giant straw. Okay, so if you could all do that first. When you've done that, send me some thumbs ups and things without letting your scroll undo. And when it's done, put a couple of little bits of sellotape to hold it closed. Alright, so you'll have a go at that first. Can I have some thumbs up, some hearts, and then I'll know that you're keeping up with me. So I've got a sellotape together little tube now like that. So if you could all do one of those, that would be fantastic. Remember, if you want to ask me for more information, if any of you want templates for anything, then you can email me after the lesson. Please don't do it through Facebook because I'm getting overwhelmed by messages and I might be missing a few. If you send it by email, I'll get it. So the email's attached to my website, www.artatthebeach.co.uk, and the at in Art at the Beach is the word at, not the sign at. Okay, so if we've all got a nice tube that's not too big, What I suggest might be the easiest way to get this right would be to use the side that has the straight line edge on it here, where the paper's joined. If not, it doesn't matter, but what I'm going to do is cut a tiny little nick about the size of a child's finger maybe, straight into my tube that way. So I've cut a tiny little gap just here, and it's going right the way through all the layers of the tube on that one side. It's quite hard to show the camera here what I've done. Can you see there's a little gap there now, a little slit. Now you've got to be really careful about this because you want the other slit to be exactly opposite at the other end of your tube. So if you could all do that as well, please. You don't want it somewhere near opposite, you want it exactly opposite. Okay, so you've got one little slit up at this end and one little slit exactly opposite down at that end. Yep. Now this is where your string or your cotton comes in. You're going to take your piece of string or cotton, and if you can just drop it through, I think I can with this because it's string, then that's fine. If you can't, tie something on the end that's a bit heavy, like maybe, oops, like my pen hook here. That would do it. The end of my pen, and then I could tie a little knot on that, and then I could drop that down the hole. And that would give it a bit more weight to push it through if I was struggling to get it through. But one way or another, you want to drop your string. I think it worked better for me without that, but you get the idea. You want something to take the string through the hole. And when you've done that, let me just get mine through again. So you're going to drop that through. You can then decide how long you want this to be when it hangs. I'm going to pull it right through. And I'm going to make mine about that long. So if I cut this off with a pair of scissors, like that, and then I'm going to tie a nice knot here at the end. So some of the littlies you might need a bit of help with the knot, but you want a nice firm knot at the end. Then down at your tube end, you want to pull the string slightly through those two little notches we made. So can you see the strings now come into the notch there, and it's gone into the notch there, and that's going to be what we attach our bird, our plane, our butterfly, or whatever else. And if you wanted to be particularly fun, you could even make some flying clowns and things to come off it, or you could even make one of our clowns that we did yesterday. And this would be nice. You could make him sit. I can't find the right one to show you at the moment, but never mind. You could make like one like this. If you cut it out, you could actually fold him so that he sat on here and it was like a circus performer. And you could have that hanging with one of your clowns from the other day. The only thing is I'd suggest you coloured both sides of him. So there's another thought. So this could be from a circus performer, but we're going to use it for our bird today. And our butterfly. All right, so we've all done that. Can you send me some hearts when you've got something like that ready? Has everyone done something like that? Not yet? Oh, hello June. How nice to see you. How's your baby? I bet the baby isn't a baby anymore. Right, getting lots of hearts now. So this is basically what we're going to frame it all on. I'm just going to hook that over here on the camera just for a minute, and then I'm going to show you here what we're going to do next. Now these were the clowns we did the other day. I must admit I quite like the idea of having some clowns doing acrobatics hanging from our little pole thing. That would be good. I hadn't thought of that earlier. A whole new idea. Here's our Kung Fu clown from the other day. I have a selection of all of these. If any of you have missed any of the lessons, the other three are still up there on my Art Jeanni. And please remember to like me on Art at the Beach, my Facebook page, and also Art Jeanni, which is the one you'll be on at the moment. They're both me, so if you could do that, that would be fantastic. And do tell people. Nice to see you, June, as you said. I haven't seen you in ages. Now, You've got A4 paper like this, so I'm going to use it. Use the paper today, not the thick stuff. Fold your paper this way, so we've got it portrait again, that's the long way this way. And I'm going to turn the top of the paper down and line it up with the bottom of the paper there. And then I'm going to fold it through the middle with a nice firm line. Now we're going to do a butterfly first, so if you can just bear with me if you really wanted to do the bird, and I'll just show you how to do them all. As I said, if you want a template, I'm happy to email you one later if you send an email through my website. Or otherwise the email is Jeanni, Jeanni _art @yahoo.co.uk. Hello Sandy, all these people turning up, it's lovely. So here's my piece of paper. I'm just going to move you guys a little bit closer so you can see better. And what we're going to do is put the folded side towards me. And you've got to remember this is where the butterfly's body is going to be. So on the fold, just so I remember that's the body, I'm going to do that. That's my butterfly's body, and it's got to go all the way from the very, very top of that fold all the way down to the very bottom of that fold. If I bring that a bit closer again for you, you'll see. So it goes all the way from the very top to all the way to the very bottom. In fact, I believe that butterflies have a little bit that comes in here. So if you want to be very clever, you can do things like that. And you could even draw on an eye if you wanted. You could draw some stripes around it. All those things are optional and they're all completely up to you. You can fiddle about with that later. All right. You might do this in pencil again first, like I've said before, because then you can change things a bit more if you like. Hi, Em. And the next thing we're going to do, from about 3 fingers down, 2 or 3 fingers down, you're going to start the wing. You can make this up however you like, but I would go up a bit, almost like a giant S, come down a bit, and then take yourself all the way up to that top corner. So I would come from a little way down its body, then come up over the hill, down through the valley, but make sure you end up in this corner, and that's the open side of your paper. All right, can I have a few thumbs and whatevers, just so I know that you're with me? I'm not quite sure about timing when I do this. It's quite difficult to see how long I'm taking in terms of how long it's taking you to copy me. Now the wing's going to come into about halfway down the butterfly's body. And so this time I'm coming in from about halfway from top to bottom, and I'm going to go across for a while, and then I'm going to twirl around a bit, but I'm going to end up again in that top corner. Now, if you want to be really clever, you could look up some butterflies on the internet. You could even try and do an exact butterfly. But for now, we'll just go with this. Fantastic. Oops. Now, we're going to go from that same line here, but just have a little bit of a gap, maybe from about there. And then again, I'm going to twirl my way down to the bottom corner. So we've got something like that. Hi Veronica, nice to see you. And come down again and finish off there. So we've got a complete butterfly like that. Now, when you've done that, you'll need to cut it out. And so I suggest we cut them out now, or possibly I suppose you could cut them out later if you wanted to, but maybe just quickly cut it out now. So I'm going around with my scissors very, very carefully, and if you're a younger child, make sure you've got your mum or dad there if you're using the scissors. And always cut away from yourself, never cut towards yourself. Cut as best you can. If you're a bit wobbly on your cutting, then don't worry if you don't get it exactly in the right place. So I've cut that bit out. I'm now cutting there. And so we're cutting the wings free. And round we go again. And then we're cutting out here. So we'll do a butterfly first just because it's easy, and then at the end I'll stay online and just show you how you could make this a bird. As I said, I'm happy to send you a template if you're worried about it, but just make something up, have a bit of fun. So round we go again. It's always best to cut from the outside inwards. Don't try and turn your hand like in that corner there. Don't try and do that. That's really awkward. Much better to let go again and then start in from the outside again like that. Okay, so we've now got one cut out butterfly. Okay, so can I have some thumbs ups when you've got that far? Here it goes. One flying butterfly. I'm just going to have another sip of my tea if you don't mind, because I'm really dry mouth today. Okay, any thumbs up please? Are we still cutting? Oh, somebody's finished cutting. Have we got more people cutting out at the moment? Send me some thumbs ups and things when you're ready. Now I think today you're going to have to mainly finish these once I've gone. But you can re-watch this, remember, as well. So if you forget anything, you can always watch the whole thing again. You can share it with your friends. Oh, I've got some lovely hearts going up and things now. It looks like we're getting there with the cutting out. That's really good. Now, what we're going to do now, I'm going to show you against my light box, is we're going to make the patterns of the butterfly. And when you do this, you can do it in pencil first and then go into black pen, or you can go straight into black pen or whatever you've got. But I'm going to put a kind of love heart shape on this wing like that. Like that. Now, I want the other wing to be the same. And what you'll find is if you turn it round, you can actually see through. Now, if I turn you to the light box, you'll see more clearly. Sorry, come for a walk with me round to my light box. So that one's the right way round. But if you hold it to a window, if we turn it over, I can still see that heart perfectly. So then I'm going to draw it the other way round. So I'm going to draw it onto the other side with the paper folded. I can see it here. And I'm drawing the exact same shape. I'm just quickly going to draw the black line around the edges of the butterfly. Like that. And I'm quickly going to draw the line around the body here as well. And put that other eye in, and I can see where the other eye was and his bits of body here. And very quickly we're getting exactly the same on both sides. Now if we draw some other shapes, and you can just have a bit of fun, but generally on butterflies I'd say have roundy swirly shapes. So we could have a shape like that. And then again, all I've got to do is turn it over, hold it against a window if you need to, and maybe you can see anyway, I can just copy that shape onto the other wing. And that way, I'm getting everything exactly the same. Now I'm going to put another shape in here, just to fill in the space. So I'm going to put a great big, I don't know what this is, it almost looks like a candle flame like that. And then I'm going to turn it over again, and I'm going to do exactly the same, following it through by tracing it like that. Now, to trace it through, you might well need to be in the black felt pen by now, but can you see that's my butterfly now? Now, the interesting thing is, it means I can also see the marks on the other side. So what I'm going to do now is actually go over these ones again in black, or red or green, or whatever you fancy. And this could be in crayon if you haven't got felt pens. You still will see through. And I can go over all of these lines again. So not only is my butterfly completely symmetrical, but he's also, or she is also coloured on both sides of the paper. Because often we only do one side of the paper, but I thought I'm going to give this one a smiley face. There you go. Can you see how here I've gone round it, and I should go round the edge of the paper again? That way, whichever way we look at this butterfly, it's got exactly the same pattern on it, and you can see it from both sides. What I did next is then coloured it on one side, and sometimes the colour goes right through the page like it did with the pink, and I didn't have to colour the other side. My orange pen though wasn't as good, so I had to colour it on both sides. But by the end you need both sides coloured, and preferably both sides outlined with your black. And then you've got the whole of your colourful butterfly, and even as it flies, it's going to look beautiful from both sides. So I've got time to show you the bird as well. I'm just going to show you how this then works. We've got our little thing that we made at the beginning. We're then going to sit that down the body of the butterfly like so. And that's my string coming up. And then I'm going to sellotape, oops, I want that up, so hold it between our teeth, hang on a second. And we want to have the butterfly like that. And I'm going to sellotape, the little slits in the string must be up or else this won't work. So you've got to have it like that. I'm just going to use a bit of sellotape now. And I'm going to sellotape with the stringy bit forward. Can you see my bit with the string? Oops. This is trying to stand in front of a camera doing this. I'm going to stick my tube and over the tube, make sure the string bit's up and across to the other wing. And then I need to do it on the other wing as well. And if you wanted to, you could actually tape it so that the wings were a little bit closed. It doesn't have to be fully open. You might do it a bit like that, so that it's a little bit open like that, and then stick your piece of tape. And I've now lost the end, but I'll show you the one I made earlier. As I said yesterday, I always wanted to be a Blue Peter lady. This is possibly my closest to it I've got. Kylie, oh wow, fantastic. So we have someone from Australia watching at this moment. How cool is that? So we've got, here we are. We've got the butterfly. Your one will obviously be colour. And because the little slits here are coming up, your butterfly then will hang and fly. If you want its wings a bit more closed, you just use your sellotape to bring the wings a bit more closed. And if you want it to look prettier, you could always roll the corners a little bit on your pen just to give its wings a little bit of a bend. So hopefully, if I just attach this one to this, you'll end up with a really beautiful, brightly flying, whoops, butterfly that you can either hang from a mobile, like I said before. You could use 2 sticks and make yourself like a little mobile frame. You can make these big, you can make them small. You can do what you like. Then you could hook each of your pieces onto it. So that was the idea for the butterfly. The one I had about the clown from the other day was that you could have used our little mechanism to begin with to be the seat for a clown on a trapeze. And you could have done one of these that we did the other day and then folded him to sit on the seat, or maybe be hanging like an acrobat. The other one though that we've got here is the bird. And I've put my template down just for a second, I can't see it, so just give me a moment. Here's a butterfly a little he did for me recently. And so as long as we get it coloured both sides, something like that's lovely. So you can really enjoy yourself colouring it. But that tracing through idea seems to work really well. And I'm sorry, just, oh, here it is. I dropped it. Here's the template for the bird. And so again, what you're going to do is take your sheet of paper, fold it in half, again, top to bottom. Remember, you could stick some little bits and pieces onto these. If you did of a bird, you might, even if you use thicker paper, be able to stick some feathers onto it, or whatever you like. Be careful if you make it too heavy, then you won't be able to get it to fly, because it will go all wonky and start hanging sideways. So again, here's the fold in the paper in the middle, and then you're going to draw your half a bird. Now here you can see that if I use that as my template, I'm going to start right on the corner of the fold again with his beak. I'm then coming out for his head. This is my seagull. I'm then coming round this time. I'm going to take it out a little bit further in a great big curve, and it's going to go all the way again to that bottom corner like that. I'm then going to come back up in these little curls like that, up his wing till I get to about where his body is there, into his body, out to his tail, and then zigzag backwards and forwards for his tail. So there's my template. So we started right on the fold again here, and we went in for the beak, round the head, then we went in a big curl all the way to the bottom corner, then we came up as if we were going up a bumpy mountain or something, then we swooped back in again here towards his body, and then out again for his tail with the zigzags. Make sure you don't get too close here, because you might end up cutting his tail off, and we don't want that. Then back to your scissors again, and then you'll cut him out, but this time you're going to make beautiful feather patterns on him. So if I don't cut him out, again you can see if I hold you to the light box, by turning it around and holding it to a window, you can see exactly what you've done and just trace the other side, which is a nice way of doing it. You can do it to a window. I can't get to a window when I'm teaching you. And when you've done that and finished it, I'm just going to make mine up quickly just so that I can show you fast. So mine won't be completely symmetrical, but almost. I've got a very fat seagull here. I think he's been on the Cornish pasties. You could then make yourself a whole series of beautiful feathers in different colours coming in on the two sides. Remember to colour your paper on both sides, and his tail feathers, and we could give him eyes, and we could let his beak come up like that, and he could become whatever bird it is that you want, an owl or anything else. Again, like this one here, you're then going to attach it to the tube we made at the beginning, and you've got a beautiful flying bird. So I hope that's given you all some ideas. I can't draw everything in front of you today. You're going to have to do some of this on your own at home, but I would love to see some of these later. And if you have trouble making it balance, I'm sure you've got a mum or a dad or a big sister or brother or someone who'll help you sort it out. It's very important to get these two little slits so that the string sits somewhere supported, and then you could have a whole series of butterflies and birds brightly coloured on both sides like this one is, and that way as it flaps and moves in the wind, it's going to be just as beautiful. And if you wanted to, you could colour in everything, or you can leave some of the paper white like I have here. And you could do, someone's saying here, you could do exactly the same with an angel. So we could do something along the lines of, again, take your sheet of paper, fold it in half. It could be a fairy for the girls, I suppose, as well. So I must admit, I've spent my morning inventing something different for you to do, to try. I just thought because it was Sunday, it might be nice to do something different. So if we did an angel, we could do like a halo, and we could do her hair, and there's her face, and I'll give her a bit of a fringe, and then we could give her an eye on this side and her mouth. This isn't a very attractive angel I've drawn here, whoever's idea this was, but you get the idea that you could then have her flying. Could be a mermaid if you wanted. It could be anything you like. So I hope that you have some fun doing this, and oh, thank you, whoever said that's so pretty. And I'd like to see what you do And I don't like competitions because I never like saying anybody's is best or anything, because I think everybody's is always beautiful. And I think, though, it would be nice if I can at least put them up in a gallery. So if you send them to me, if I don't put it up, it's because, as I said, sometimes my Facebook account bit is getting overwhelmed with people, which is fantastic. But if I miss you, please don't worry. I didn't mean to. And just send it to me again and I'll try and make sure I get it. As I said, if you want a template, email me. Now, this is off the top of my head. Someone's saying, what about a mermaid? I suppose, again, we could go for a whole heap of hair. And then we could get into the body of the mermaid. We could leave her arms maybe not showing. And then we could get down to her tail down here. And you could go out for her tail and then swish her tail maybe up like that. Oops. And by the time you've made that into all the scales here and drawn her face in, and you could have her hair covering over her there, we could get a mermaid sort of in that way. So you can use your imagination. A dragon, Michael, a dragon. Okay, we could do a dragon. That's a really good idea. I want to see Michael's dragon tomorrow. Can I have some thumbs up for anyone who wants to see Michael's dragon tomorrow? Come on. Let's see how many people would like to see Michael's dragon that he's going to do for me for tomorrow. A dragon. There's a picture there, but it's too small, Michael. I can't see it. I don't know how we could do a dragon. I suppose actually a dragon's a very cool idea. In a dragon's case, I folded that the wrong way. I knew I'd done something wrong. In a dragon's case, we've got to have wings and a tail, haven't we? So again, I don't know. We're going to have like dragony wing here. And we could have dragony tail going that way. And then, I'm not quite sure. I can't say I've thought about how to draw a dragon on something like this. He needs a bit of a nose out there, doesn't he? Can he be a friendly dragon? I don't know. I don't think this looks much like a dragon, Michael. What do you think? There you go. There's my attempt at a dragon very quickly. What about Medusa? No, I give up. I'm going to go on strike now. They're getting silly, these ideas now. No. Anyway, it's been lovely to see you all. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Just a bit of fun. So basically, make yourself that rod bit first. As we did here, this bit, the tube with the piece of string, then you could either sit a clown on it, you can put your butterfly around it, you can put a bird around it, you can use your imagination and have a bit of fun. Fairies, butterflies, dragons, Medusas, and many, many other things. I can see loads of things coming up. I do hope that you've enjoyed it. I can't quite see how many of you are out there. Lovely to see you. I'll be doing something again tomorrow. Each day is going to be a surprise, I think, to me as much as to you, because I'm coming out with different things as we go. As I said, if anyone's interested in doing full-on proper art lessons with sketch, perspective and paint, I am here and up and running doing it. I was teaching this morning. I'm about to teach again in a moment. If anyone wants a group lesson, my son and I are actually doing a virtual party on Friday. He's going to be checking in from Australia, doing the juggling, and I'll be doing an art thing. So if you want anything like that, if you want to have a virtual birthday party doing art, we can do that. So as Henry Ford said many years ago, the only limitation is your own imagination. And so there we go. And please show me what you've done. I so love getting the pictures, and let me have some comments, like and share. The more people we can get doing this, it's more fun and it's really nice. So have a lovely afternoon. Enjoy making dragons and butterflies and all of those things. Emma, I'd like to see your Medusa, please. I'm fascinated how you're going to do it. And if anyone can come up with anything else exciting, do show me. Obviously an old biplane you could do it as, and an aeroplane. There's all sorts of things you could turn it into. Bye-bye. See you soon. Take care.